Let's be honest, I've always been a skeptic. The idea that a 1-minute prayer could fix my life seemed, well, ridiculous. But I have to level with you. I had hit rock bottom. A few months ago, my life was a mess. A mountain of debt I couldn't imagine climbing. Final demand notices that felt like a gut punch every single morning. And a job that was crushing my soul just to keep my head above water. Despair wasn't just a feeling, it was my roommate. And hope had packed its bags and wasn't taking my calls. So when I stumbled across this idea of a 1-minute manifestation prayer, my first instinct was to laugh it off. But then another thought crept in. What do I have to lose? I'd tried everything else. So, right there, surrounded by evidence of my failures, I made a pact with myself. Or with the universe, I guess. I'd say this little prayer every single day for the next 30 days. I didn't expect much, but I was dead wrong. It was probably 2 a.m. and I was doom scrolling my way through another sleepless night, looking for any kind of escape. That's when I found it. It wasn't some flashy, over-the-top video. It was just a simple post about focusing your intention for 60 seconds a day. The whole point wasn't about begging the universe for stuff, but about aligning your own energy with what you wanted to attract. It wasn't about wishing on a star. It was about turning yourself into a magnet for the good you want to see in your life. The idea is that this focused intention can lower stress and help build a mindset of positive expectation. The prayer itself was surprisingly direct. It wasn't asking for a handout. It was about declaring you were ready to receive. Feeling a little foolish, I scribbled it on a sticky note and slapped it on my bathroom mirror. This is the exact prayer I used. My plan was to say it every morning right after brushing my teeth, before the chaos of the day could take over. The key was consistency, to build up that faith and reinforce the change I wanted to see. The first few days were awkward. I'd stand there, look myself in the eye, and mumble the words, feeling like a total fraud. A broke, skeptical guy whispering what felt like nonsense into the void. And for the first week, absolutely nothing. The bills were still piling up, the dread was still there. I almost quit about 5 times. But then, around day 10, something shifted. It was tiny. I got an email about a small refund for an old overpayment I'd totally forgotten about. It was barely enough to cover lunch, but it was unexpected. A few days after that, my boss, who usually just grunts at me, actually stopped me to say, "Good job on a project." Then, I found $20 in an old jacket pocket. Look, none of these were life-shattering miracles, but they were like little glitches in the matrix of my misery. Tiny sparks of light in all that darkness. It was just enough to make me think, all right, let's see what tomorrow brings. My silly little experiment was starting to get interesting. The 3rd week is when things started feeling real. A former colleague, someone I hadn't talked to in years, messaged me out of the blue. His startup just got a round of funding and he needed a freelance consultant. The project was a perfect fit for my skills, and the pay for that one project was more than I made in 2 weeks at my soul-crushing job. I jumped on it. Just like that, I had a second income stream. Then, the next week, an idea for a small online business, one I'd shelved for years because I thought it was dumb and would never work, suddenly became crystal clear. I knew exactly what to do. The cloud of self-doubt that had always crippled me was just gone. In its place was this quiet, steady confidence. I used the money from that freelance gig to get it off the ground. For the first time in I don't know how long, I wasn't just treading water, I was actually building something. My skepticism had totally evaporated. I was waking up before my alarm, actually excited to say the prayer, excited to see what door might open that day. So here I am, 30 days later. That mountain of debt, it's now a manageable hill. And I have a clear plan to wipe it out completely in the next 6 months. And that soul-crushing job, I handed in my notice last week. My little business made its first profit yesterday. But the biggest change isn't in my bank account, it's the person looking back at me in the mirror. He's no longer haunted by despair. There's a light in his eyes. Let me be clear, this 1-minute prayer didn't magically make money rain from the sky. What it did was change me. When you pray, it can actually change your brain activity, calming your nervous system and making you less reactive to stress and negative emotions. It shifted my focus from lack and fear to possibility and gratitude. It was like my mind was rewired. Instead of seeing dead ends everywhere, I started seeing doorways. The prayer gave me the hope and confidence to walk through them. My journey started with 100% skepticism and ended here. I'm not asking you to believe me. I'm asking you to believe in the possibility that you can change your own life. So, I'm inviting you to take the 30-day challenge. Here is the prayer one more time. Divine Essence, source of all abundance, I call upon your infinite grace to manifest health, wealth, love, and abundance in my life. Bless my body with vitality and strength. Open the gates of prosperity for me. Fill my heart with unconditional love. Shower me with abundance that enriches my spirit and nourishes my soul. I trust in your divine timing and wisdom. Amen. Say it for 1 minute every single day for 30 days. Just see what happens. If you're going to try this, go to the comments right now and type, "I'm in." Let that be your first step, and please come back and share your journey with all of us. If this story hit home for you, subscribe for more. You have absolutely nothing to lose and a new life to gain.